Evans' three-point shot is
Powering shot, baby.
Red Bulls takes it to the house.
The following is a production of the Rough Rider broadcast team, a presentation of Watlington and Shires Productions. NetSN and Azalea Orthopedics brings you Northeast Texas Sports, the 2024 season.
Going on. So I thought we'd kind of start off here a little bit. We will talk some softball and some baseball today. Had some great coaches that are going to be here, but we do have a couple of those coaches that were able to make it today, which is awesome. And we're going to try to do this every Monday from now on. I do know that we got some soccer playoffs going on. I'll be taking care of that, but we're going to be talking about that coming up. But now let's just get started here as well, where we've been so far, and we've been fortunate enough to finish up the basketball season. We actually got to go all the way through the basketball season, and unfortunately our state championship basketball audio broadcast wasn't the best, and we apologize for that, but we got to be there, and the Shelbyville Dragons came just a little bit short with their runner-up there, but what a great season for those guys. We're going to be able to talk about some of those young men that were on that basketball team with Coach Hubbard with the Shelbyville Dragons coming up later here today as well, and some of those young ladies that were on the Lady Dragon basketball team with Coach Mason coming up here, the Lady Softball Dragon team as well too. So let's kind of get started from that's where we've been getting going. And then we started off, we wanted to get things going. We got started off March the 12th, I do believe, and I got a hold of Coach McCann over there in Joaquin, and the Rams, I tell you what, they were really receptive. Our very first NetSN broadcast over there too, and it was for the Joaquin Rams and the Shelbyville Dragons and softball over there, and it was a great game and a very nice day, and we had a good broadcast over there as well. And the Lady Rams came out on top of that ball game to start off. Then we were fortunate enough to find out that with all the things moving around that we had a Shelbyville game at home as they were welcoming the Timpson Lady Bears to town that day. And so we went over and covered that. It was 1 o'clock afternoon start time, and the Shelbyville Lady Dragons were able to get that win there. There was a big to do in the middle of that game that took some time out of there, but good job by the umpires. I have to say, sometimes we give those guys a hard time, but we appreciate the hard job they do. But they did what they had to do, and they took a little longer, but they did what they had to do to get everything right, and it worked out. I also got to meet Coach Brewster for the Timpson Bears. Once again, I got to meet him during the Shelbyville Timpson basketball game earlier in the season, talking about covering them, and I got to meet Coach Brewster and talk to him, and we were hoping he could be here today, but they hooked up a game against Garrison, and they hooked that time up just right because, the storm moved off, and they had just enough time to get that in. It should be beautiful for them to play softball here this evening. So maybe next week we'll have Coach Brewster on, Coach McCann as well from Joaquin. And that's kind of where we got started. There had been some really good games going on there between those two teams and back and forth. And, we got to cover some over in Timpson, traveling over to Joaquin. That was a good game over there. And I think Timpson was able to get the win there, and then Joaquin was able to return that favor back at Timpson not long ago, though. So that's where kind of been with that. And then we started in some baseball, too. We were able to start off with some Shelbyville Dragon baseball, also some Joaquin and Timpson baseball there. And, too, got a hold of Coach Tondro with Timpson. Hopefully have a chance to have him onto the show before too long as well. So we're here just kind of just talking about a few things. We're going to be doing some soccer in Jacksonville tomorrow because we're trying to add to our repertoire. We're really doing a lot of soccer coverage here. I know the guys will be talking about in Rick Meek's Coach's Show coming up here. They do a lot of center soccer, and they're going to be deep into the playoffs this year. Have a chance maybe to go all the way to Georgetown, which is awesome. And so we're going to be covering some soccer here. We're going to go cover Jacksonville for the NFHS Network, and what better way to get better at your craft is to go cover games. So that's where I'm going to be tomorrow. Thursday, I've been meaning to get down south and do some baseball and some softball down there for for West Sabine and Torino and St. Augustine. So Thursday, there's a big baseball game going on down there. My plan is to go down and cover Coleman and West Sabine there in West Sabine. It's going to be a great game. And then maybe Friday be back to some more soccer playoffs. But we got a lot of great softball and baseball games coming up here, all in the Piney Woods. We're talking to Torino, St. Augustine, West Sabine, and all that stuff coming up as well. But we're here to talk about some other great teams, and we're going to talk about Shelbyville Lady Dragon softball starting off here with Coach Mason, as my good friend Stephen Shires behind the camera there. He is taking care of it. So we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk Coach Mason and some Lady Shelbyville softball coming up here on the Piney Woods Area Coach Show, NetSN.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to see why Blake Furniture is the top furniture company in East Texas. Get the lowest prices and discover our easy in-store financing and low payment plans. Plus, get the fastest delivery in East Texas. Get your credit pre-approved online at blakefurniture.com today.
For Matthews Realty, going above and beyond is what's expected. This is agency owner Colin Matthews. Our team of seasoned real estate professionals believe in giving their clients an advantage in any real estate transaction. Matthews Realty has a reputation of highly personalized service. Matter of fact, it's our #1 priority. From commercial and residential properties, poultry farms to beach rentals, our team works hard so you don't have to.
Call Matthews Realty 598-7800 or see their complete listings at matthewsrealty.com.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
All right, folks, welcome back here, and we're talking with Coach Mason of Lady Shelbyville Softball. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing?
Oh, awesome and blessed here. And we appreciate you taking the time to come down here with us today. And I know we had some folks in here, thought maybe about be some games going on with all the weather and everything. But I think you guys have pretty much made up everything so far, haven't you?
Yes, sir, we have. Yeah, we actually are hosting one that I called today with Garrison and Timpson. In fact, that score right now, I think the bottom of the first, Timpson was winning 16-0 already.
Already? Wow.
So, yeah, already doing what they do. So they're a really good team, coached well. And like I said, I pretty much figured that was going to happen coming after playing both those teams. I figured Timpson was going to come out ahead on that one.
Yeah, yeah. They were trying to get that one in over there too, and talk about let's go back and talk about that Timpson game that I got to cover for you guys a little while back, and that was a great game there, And I mean, we had a bunch of things going on. It's kind of back and forth in there, but I mean, that was a win because I mean, right now I was looking at it in district. This is one of the toughest ones around here, just like the basketball season. It's going to be the same thing for the girls' softball season.
Oh, it is, and our softball is very competitive. Me and Coach McCain, we've talked before, and me and Mr. Coach Brewster was talking about it, that we honestly could see each other no matter how we finish, whether it's 1 through 4.
Right.
All four of us could easily see each other again in the third round, and then possibly see each other again in the fifth round.
Right.
And it's very possible that one of our teams from our district could be going to Austin.
That would be awesome because, I mean, for me to go call some softball to a championship too, I've got to do that in Kansas one time, but I'd love to call some. And got to do some good stuff here in Texas so far. But that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I believe you there because, I mean, just watching all the teams so far, I haven't got to cover Beckville yet, but I know how good that they are too. And I believe Joaquin got Beckville in the last bottom of the home run or something the other day over there.
Yeah, they were. I think Joaquin was up 6-0, and then Beckville kind of made a run coming back, and then in the bottom of the seventh, the Kay Fuller hit a game-winning home run and did a walk-off, and it's pretty awesome.
Right.
Just to win that way, just the experience and just you never know what's going to happen, and but always winning off a walk-off is always fun.
Yeah, that's a great thing too. And I know Kay Fuller, she's a good little player over there too. That Joaquin team is good. And like I said, we'll talk to Coach McCann coming up here for too long. But the Shelbyville Dragon team, they're very good too. They play very good softball out there. They play good team softball. They seem like they chat out there pretty good as well. So you got a good team element going on for your team right now.
Yes, sir. This is my third year here, and one of the biggest things that I preach on or really just coach about, and one of my philosophies is no matter what goes on outside that field, when you're on this field, you're a family.
Right.
And you got to play for a family because and you fight for your family. You're not going to let just somebody you're not just not going to let somebody just pick on your family like that. And I think working together as a group, and one of the hardest things to do, especially with young ladies, is trying to keep them all together on the same page sometimes. To do that is huge. But those girls, I had 2 seniors graduated last year who was part of that. The girls have kind of stepped in. The couple freshmen that stepped in and just kind of taken over some roles have really just bought into that as well. And that's huge. When you can talk to each other and just work together as a group, a lot of things, good things happen.
Good things happen. Yeah, talking a little bit about that last year, I kind of followed you guys, you know, in that run last year. You guys had a great run at it last year, you know, coming from where, you know, kind of like a surprise, I think, last year when you were out there.
It's crazy. I've always told the girls, I said, y'all don't realize how good you are. And we would see, and I said, the day you realize it is the day that you're going to have a lot of fun.
Right.
And we got hot at the right time. When we played, it kind of turned around when we played Timpson the second time around.
Right.
And I always preach about girls, just do your job. No matter what it is, do your job. If you're a pitcher, throw strikes. If you're a fielder and you get a ground ball, pop up, you know, catch the ball, field the ground ball, throw it to first.
Right.
Just if you're at bat, you know, you got a runner here and I'm calling something, just do what you need to do. And we didn't do our job that well.
Right.
And, you know, the girls are on the bus, they're real quiet. We get to Whataburger in center here and we're eating, and they were just really quiet. And I looked to my assistant, Coach Stone, and I said, hey, this is different. I said, something's changed.
Right.
And then we turned around and beat Walking, and then, you know, we beat Garrison, and then we beat Mount Enterprise and Martinsville, and then we turned around and beat Beckville as well.
Right.
And it really just flipped a switch for us. And we played some very, very good teams in the playoffs. I mean, Love Lady still was, even though they did lose some kids, they still had 4 or 5 kids that could play. And we went toe-to-toe. And, of course, we faced we played Walking again in the third round. And, of course, just another – you know, just a battle, just a classic battle, a rivalry almost, because it's so funny that so many of our kids are between Shelbyville and Joaquin. They're related,
right?
And they're cousins, and they'll go eat, you know, together and go to church on Sundays. But when the lights are on, it's different.
Right.
It's different. So,
right.
But like I said, it was an awesome experience.
Right.
I'm glad for the seniors that were there, and I can't wait to see what we do this year.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about some of those freshmen that are filling in there. I know one for sure. Corey Lawson seems to be like she was so good on the basketball court here, and I've seen her out there do a few things on the field too. So that's one freshman you got standing up for you.
Oh, for sure. She came up with I think we had bases loaded, and she came up with a big hit for us. And she's facing some really good pitching. I mean, our district is no joke when it comes to pitching, and she's really just stepped in that role, just as hitting right now. That's the thing also is our girls are understanding what their roles are. You know, we have one girl who just comes in and just runs for our pitcher, for one of our pitchers, and she loves it because that's what she wants to do. And when they buy in, it's huge. And Corey's doing a great job. She's still hitting wonderful throughout the season so far, and I still think she's just going to get better at the plate for us.
Right, I tell you that's true, and then but you know, coming to the team, it all starts kind of really through your pitching. So you know you got a couple of young ladies that can pitch really well for you. So who do you have for number one? Because I mean you could probably throw 2 or 3 of them that you could say would be number one if you wanted to.
You can flip a quarter with them two. I'm very. It's at our level to have 2 girls like I have
that's so
with
key
Laney.
in softball. If you don't know that is key in softball.
Oh yeah, if you don't have nobody in the circle, it's going to be a long season for you.
Yeah.
And to have 2, it's awesome. I mean between Laney and Taylor, both those girls made All-State last year for us, and they're just huge part of our program, and not just in softball but in other sports as well. But and what they bring to the table for us, it's awesome. Couldn't ask for 2 girls who just to take on a lot of pressure.
Right.
So for sure.
Yeah, I tell you, and you also, you know, got to have a good girl behind the dish too. You know, Lavelle, she's back there, and I've seen her work pretty much every game for you so far. And that is to have her back there to kind of run the field, be the field general, I say, is very important as well.
Oh, for sure. And Carsey's a great kid. She, my pitchers trust her. And when a pitcher trusts a catcher, it's huge.
Right.
I've had the very fortunate opportunity to where I don't have to call pitches. What we do is we sit down with Carsey whenever we get game plan, and we say, hey, look, with this kid we need to do this, with this kid we need to kind of look at that. And we do make adjustments if we need to. If she sees something, she makes that adjustment. But like I said, my pitchers trust her, and that's huge. No matter what she calls, they're going to throw it.
Right.
And she's going to do everything she can to take control of it. And like I said, to have somebody at this level that you trust to call pitches, it's huge, because then as a coach we can focus on our defense and moving kids if we need to, and do some things and chat them up as well.
Right.
And we don't have to worry about – we have to worry about not as much as what most people don't have to do. So that's awesome part about it too.
Yeah, it makes your job a little bit easier.
It does. It does. It definitely does. So.
Right, and to go back to talk about some pitching, Taylor Jones, she had some big knocks the other night. I saw, and it looked like you had a back-to-back going on the other night too.
Yeah, we did. It was awesome experience. I think as many years I've been around, whether it's baseball and softball, I've never seen that before. And I don't know what the percentage of that ever happening is out there. I've seen plenty of back-to-backs, but never, 3 in a row. And
right.
Carsey gets up there and hits one, a 3-run, then Taylor gets up there and hits a solo, and then Laney hits a solo, and it was awesome. That's all. I mean, I just don't know what else to say about it, but it was awesome.
Right. Yeah, I saw the picture where they all three were standing there, with the softballs afterwards. That's really cool. So, and also, in softball too, you got to have a good outfield too. And you think, because it's a little bit shallower in that sometimes that softball it gets that weird English on it and not as shallow and far. So, tell me a little about your center fielder. I mean, who's your person out there? Sometimes it's your center fielder, sometimes it can be your right fielder that's kind of taking care of things out there.
I'm very fortunate. I have 3 young ladies who are awesome at catching fly balls. Last year, Jaylee was in my right field, but we were able to move her to third, and because we had a freshman Karma come up and take that spot in right field. Right field's very important in softball because of the way the ball comes off the bat.
Right.
Softball, you spin it so much, and if you have somebody who throws a really good curveball and it comes off the bat, an outside pitch and it's curving, it could slice just like me going there and playing golf.
Yeah, me too.
And so, and for somebody to be able to read that and to catch that and those things, it's awesome. Center field is Nicole, and she's a junior there. She's awesome. She does a great job out there. She covers a lot of ground.
Right.
And then Emily, my left fielder, is my only senior this year. Of course, she's going to go to the University of Houston to run track.
Nice.
She's an awesome kid. She really wasn't too sure if she was going to play this year. She was thinking about just, after last year and just sitting there talking to her and just seeing the emotion after we lost in the regional finals. She's like, I said, hey, kiddo, how many times can you say you can go to state in 3 sports?
Right.
And she was like, not very much. I said, but you have an opportunity to do that. And she's just a great kid. She's a great leader out there as well. So I'm truly blessed. I mean, we have so much range, so much speed out there, and we can just cover a lot of ground and have fun doing it too.
Right. Tell you what, they did a good job out there the other day covering them. They were all over the outfield ball out there too. And another, I know we can say every position is important too, but that third base, that hot spot down there, that down there, because you get to lay down the bunts, and then those are the hot bats coming off of there. So you got to have somebody that's on their toes over there, and you got a pretty good little third baseman right now.
I do. Jaylee, yeah, her sister was my first baseman last year, and Jaylee, like I said, we played right, and we felt like she had the ability to come in and play third base for us. We tried it out, and everything was going smooth. We tried some other kids there just to see, because like I said, she did so great for us in right field. It's hard to, when you somebody who does really good, it's hard to move them if you don't, especially feel comfortable. And she's doing an amazing job. She's coming and taking on the new role, took it on fast because she didn't get to us till after basketball was done. Right. And we just threw her right in and said, here you go, kid, have fun.
Right.
And she's
Keep
doing a
your
great
head
job.
on a swivel.
Oh, yeah, and she does good. She's very quick. She is very coachable. And so any change that we need to make, and like I said, she's still learning, but she's got it down almost pretty pat by now, right. and I can't wait to see how much better she gets to that position for us.
Yeah, she's got a little time there to keep working on.
Oh, she does, especially with her being a sophomore.
Yeah.
Like I said, she'll definitely have 2 more years if. But I think she's going to pretty much solidify that spot for the future.
Well, you got to have your 4-6-3 combo out there too, and your 6-4-3, however you want to get it out there too. So that's a bigger combination there. So let's get on that farther side of the other part of your infield there. Who you got on first, second, and short?
Okay, Katie's a freshman. She come in and she's taking on a big role there because, like I said, with Kara that was there, she's a freshman. She's come in, really wasn't too issues. Never played first before,
right.
But she's tall, she's athletic, she sees the ball well for scooping the ball. She's able to dig it really well, and part of that is because she did play third at one time, or she played middle infield. Just being able to scoot the ball and get those short hops is always good. And the kids trust her,
right?
And that's huge. I mean, if you're an infielder or even the catcher and you're doing a back pick or something like that, trusting a first baseman is huge. And you're able to do some more things with that. And then depends on who's pitching, depends on who's playing where.
Right.
Sometimes if Taylor's pitching, we move Laney to first and move. We move Katie to second, which she's athletic enough to play that position for us. And then we move Kylie, who's at second. She goes to short.
Right.
And like I said, and then when Laney's on the mound, then we go Kylie at second, who's my one hole, and she does a great job. She covers a lot of range. And then, of course, Taylor, I'm very blessed to have a great middle infield that can cover a lot of range. You know, those balls that get hit over first base and what we call, you know, jimmies, no man's land, you know, little bloopers.
Right.
When you get two people who can cover that ground, it's huge, and they make plays.
Right.
And that's what's huge. And like I said, they trust each other. They'll do stuff sometimes that they just like, did they just flip that real quick? Like, what was that? And so, and it's awesome. Just seeing how they just work together. You know, Kylie is she's my biggest chit chatter for sure. She talks it up. Really good at doing that. And like I said, Taylor with her ability to play short and come to the mound and be my 3-hole. She's just a great kid.
Right.
Great. She's always smiling. If she's not smiling, something's
not
wrong.
right.
Something's not right because she will always smile,
Right.
no matter what. And like I said, when she's not smiling, something's definitely wrong, and I feel bad for whoever gets in her way. So yeah.
Right. We'll see how that way she's going to take over.
Oh yeah.
Well, I tell you too, Coach. You know, you got a great season going on right now. I think I looked it up. You know, and I do a lot of my stuff off of Max Prex. So you guys are really pretty good on there. They said they got you guys at number 21 in there in 2A. You know, which is really pretty cool. But you got some really big games coming up. I mean, Martinsville, Mount Enterprise, Garrison, Joaquin. You know, those some games in there that are big district games. You know, we really got to take care of business on. So you know, those. But the weather's getting a little bit better, so that makes it a little bit easier for us to get those games in on Tuesdays and Fridays, right?
Right.
And so, I mean, with these teams coming up, I mean, I know that you know they're looking to you know get some of those district wins as well, you know, and keep moving up, and then you know they want to move up, they want to beat Shelbyville, so they can move up in there too. So, you know, these teams are really coming along, especially Mount Enterprise and Joaquin are definitely down there. Going to be tough always.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I know this Tuesday we have Beckville.
Beckville too, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one for us. We haven't played them yet. We've known they've beaten Timpson, and we know that Joaquin's beaten them. You know, they're coached really well. They knock the cover off the ball.
Right.
They hit the ball really hard. They have a really good pitcher with Grand George. And so we're just going to have to play our game.
Right.
We know we can beat them because we did it last year. And we know that we're very capable. We have that confidence a little bit better this year, I think, than last year. And we prepared for them. Just like, I mean, just one day, you know, we only got one day of practice before we play them.
Right.
But we did get ready for them today. Had a real good practice today, so I'm really excited about that game tomorrow. I really feel like we can pull one off. If we do that, then which will put us second in district, which ain't too bad.
Well, take that.
Sitting second district behind Joaquin. Only reason because you know we both would have one loss, but since Joaquin beat us the first time,
right.
we have to. You know they get the head-to-head, so we'll have to beat them again next time at our place, hopefully. So like I said, I mean we're very capable of doing it. I mean we definitely say we beat Beckville and then we'll get a little break because we have the bye, and then we turn around and go back at it again.
Right,
So we'll play Timpson and then Joaquin, and we'll see what goes from there. So.
Right. It's going to be very exciting as we get towards the end of April there, find out who's all jockeying for position there, too. Couple of quick questions there for you, Coach. You got Coach Stone and Clark, I think your two assistant coaches. You know, those two, you have to have them. They do a great job for you as well.
Oh, they're awesome. I mean, I couldn't say – I don't know how much good I can say about them, too. They are so awesome. They help me out tremendously. I truly believe what makes a head coach a really good head coach is his assistants as well, as their assistants. I mean, we're a team as well. And after my first year, we made the playoffs, and then my AD, Coach Wall, says, Mason, what do you need? You know, I said, on coach's time, he said, what do you need? And I said, well, I want somebody like me who's either been around the game long enough, whether it was baseball, softball, just somebody who knows the game,
right,
and that can help me out and to keep me out of my own head. Because sometimes as head coaches, we make some mistakes
Thinking
sometimes. Yes, we do. We think too much sometimes, or sometimes we don't know what to think. And so therefore I got Coach Stone, and then I also wanted somebody that was young, somebody who played the game, someone who could bring that extra fire into the game, someone that is almost just brings excitement, you know, because as the older we get, you know, I'm 40, and you know, you really don't jump up as much as you used to, you know, because you've seen a lot. But I know last year, I mean, Coach Clark sometimes will be out there before we would to celebrate the wins and stuff, and I love it because she'll get out there with the girls, and I mean, and practice with them. She gets down with them. She'll kind of get them going and stuff
good
too.
old softball player turning into a coach. Yeah,
yes,
that's awesome. That's
yes,
what
and
you need,
I know she played some college ball too, and just a great person,
Right.
you know. And like I said, I couldn't ask for a better staff.
Right.
I mean, they are awesome. We each have our own jobs, and we understand what we're supposed to do, and we go for there. In fact, Coach Clark is actually she's over my JV, and she does a great job with them. You know, she's teaching them the basics of the game, kind of working with them, and does a great job doing that. And to get them ready, because eventually those girls are going to have to step up, and especially with what we're doing and the foundation that's being built now. And nobody wants to see that go down. You know, they want to see it continue to go up and be better. And in fact, that's one thing that we always say is be better. And so, like I said, I couldn't ask for a better staff. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's good there. And too, Coach, you know, I like the AstroTurf field.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it really works out there for you guys. But, you know, does the ball bounce a little bit different there, digging some stuff out there on that AstroTurf field?
It does. I mean, obviously, compared to dirt, it does. And certain turfs are different. Depends on how many BBs and stuff are on there. In fact, I was joking. That's like, oh, yeah, we can put more BBs on there and slow it down. I said, well, can y'all take them off and put them down each game, you know, depending on who we're playing? And like, no, we can't do it. Yeah. And so, but, no, it's very nice to have. It does bounce a little bit different. When we do play teams that are on dirt, which everybody in our district is on dirt, our girls are able to adjust, because what I'll do in the preseason is I'll go to dirt fields when we do when we go tournaments and stuff, so that my girls kind of get used to it. It does bounce a little bit different. It's not as some turfs that we've played at, where if you hit the ball, I mean, you can chop on the ground and it shoots way up. Ours doesn't do that, thank God. I wouldn't like that if we had it, but I mean, it plays more true. Like, you don't get that funky hop like that rock or that hits it and shoots it off somewhere. But if you hit the ball right enough and you do things right, you're going to create some spin when you hit the ball. So for sure.
That's awesome. Well, you know, you got a great boss over there. I always like to give Coach Wallace, you know, a good old heads up over there too, because he's awesome there. Too. But you know what, Coach, I appreciate you being here. We hope to have you back here again on another Monday coming up here, talking more Lady Dragon softball, and we'll hopefully get out there and cover some more games for you guys. So good luck on the season and keep it going.
Appreciate it.
All righty.
Have a good one.
We're going to take ourselves a little bit of a break here. We're going to come back and talk Shelbyville baseball with Coach Hubbard coming up here on the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show. Almost forgot what show it was.
If you're looking for land or a home in Shelby County, you go with Shelby County's real estate leader, Tammy Steptoe Realty. Judging from homes listed and homes sold, Tammy Steptoe Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters. So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center. Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Oh, sorry. Doing a little acting over here. That was quick there. Welcome back here, folks. Pineywood Area Coach Show, and with us is Shelbyville Dragon Coach Zach Hubbard. Coach, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Awesome and blessed today. I'll tell you what, Coach, you know, got to cover some baseball here not too long ago, and the Dragons looking pretty good here. It was a chilly day the other day against Woden, but still able to get the game in, and it was a good game out there, too.
Yes, sir. It was pretty chilly night. I'm glad I packed a little bit of extra clothes for that one.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because, you know, we were hoping everything would kind of move off, but that north wind just kind of kept hanging around that evening for some reason, but the rain moved off, and we had a good game out there. And, you know, also, you know, got to see a big home run there from Weston Frick, and he pitched a very, very good game out there. You know, another young man who played basketball there, you know, and he's moved in there. So I know he's one of your top guys there on the bump for you this year, Coach. So, you know, Frick, he had a good game the other night. So how many guys you got that you could throw out there as starters?
Well, he's actually probably, I mean, if we're putting it on paper, he's probably number two. Mm-hmm. Our number one is Dylan Parker.
Right.
But then, I mean, I've got, you can go down the list. I got Wyatt Frick, Cam Mason, Jason Fleming, freshman Dallas Murray,
right.
Gus Duvon when he's feeling good. I mean, there's not many on my roster that can't get on the mound at those strikes.
Wow, I mean that's I mean you usually don't have that in high school. That's so good to have that kind of a plethora of arms.
We've been
that's
pretty
awesome.
blessed. We've been pretty blessed on the mound since I've been here. So.
Mm-hmm. And some of those guys are seniors, but then you got some of those younger class guys that are able to learn from those guys that are seniors too.
Yeah,
right?
so we got a pretty good mix this year. We got 4 seniors, I think 2 sophomores, and 1 freshman playing.
Right.
And I guess that makes 2 juniors left.
Yeah. So good mix of guys out there too, and they all seem to be really working together as a team too. Right now, you guys are moving right along. I think I have you guys sitting up there. I think it's more than 4-0 in the district. I think it's 5 and
it's 4-0.
4-0 in the
4-0,
district.
9-3.
And number 26 is what they have you for on Max Press too. So that's good. This is one of those just like the softball season we were talking about with Coach Mason. I mean, this is one of those tough districts where all these teams are. It could be any 4 of them that go.
Right.
And right now, you want to start off in district and start off and keep rolling because you don't want to lag on any games in this district.
Right. We lucked out, early on our schedule's not as tough as some of the others start off against the top-ranked teams in our district, especially with us coming off the state championship. And I've got 4 guys on varsity that were playing basketball until 2 weeks ago. So they're just now getting games in. At one point, they had more games than they had practice in.
Right.
So, I tell them all the time, you just got out here, don't get frustrated. Baseball is a game of failure, and if you fail 70% of the time, then you're still doing pretty good. Don't get frustrated.
Yeah, it's just the way the ball bounces sometimes that goes in there. And talk about one of those basketball guys, with Reston and Dylan. But DJ, he had the hand injury, so I guess that's really good because he was hitting the ball really well, and he seems to be doing okay with that too.
That's not anything that's bothering him anymore.
Right.
As far as baseball goes. He's still kind of sore just from playing basketball. Right. His body's kind of beat up because you saw him. He's all over the place, and so we're kind of giving him a little rest, giving him a little time, trying not to let him bat as much, and let him get some play in the field, and let some of these younger guys hit for him.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard too. Like the other night too, it was a cold night, and you're out there for a little while, and then you're heating up and cooling down. So I can understand the way you were moving some things around there too, and also to talk about this. And I seen it, and I should have known it, through the basketball season. Is that Dylan Parker seems to be like one of my favorite kids that I've seen because this kid is just tough in basketball season. And now I seen a highlight that y'all put out there from the game against it was the other night,
Athens.
Against Athens, and he just made a solid dig way deep in the hole. Was able to pick him off over there at second, and that was an awesome play by that shortstop.
He amazes me, and he does that stuff in practice every day.
Really?
And I tell him, quit doing that now.
Right.
But if you don't practice it, I guess he's not going to do it in the game. But that play in particular, he was playing in. We had the bases loaded, no outs, and tie ball game, and that kid blooped one over there. It never fails when you pull the infield in. They hit a little bloop shot, and he runs over there, dives, and catches it, and gets the guy at second. So that kind of saved a big inning for us right there.
Yeah, that was a great play. And then also I like the comments is how's he not signed yet? And that surprises me too. I thought that maybe he was signed to something.
He's had a couple of looks from some smaller like Division III schools, but I haven't heard anything from any other schools other than, like I said, those D3 schools. One of the guys, one of my friends is sitting there, and he commented, well, we tried. But yeah, it blows my mind because he's very good on the mound and hits the ball well, so it just blows my mind sometimes. But
maybe somebody just kind of waiting to see.
Somebody will pick him up at some point and get a diamond.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, is the transfer portal a little bit different in baseball like it is in the football? It's still that there. But, there's so much of the D3 baseball there that's kind of like you wouldn't really have too much of a transfer portal. I wouldn't think so.
I don't know how all that works. That's all changed since I was there, so I don't know what's going on. Right.
Yeah, once I got out of high school, I didn't play any college baseball or anything like that, but I loved the game, and I just love baseball. I remember can remember the very first game my mother took me to. We moved to after we got moved down into Houston, and it was a standing room only. She took us to the Astrodome. They were playing the Phillies. I was 7, 8 years old, and fell in love with the game ever since. And I just love to play baseball. And I think that's every kid that goes through that there too. But just a great game. And you guys have such a great team out there too. And talk about Dylan and also Wyatt. But I didn't know that it was the Weston and Wyatt were. I didn't know Weston had a brother that was a twin. And I said, well, is Weston? I was asking Rob the other night. He said, no, that's his twin brother. I said, really? Okay. So you got. And I asked him. I said, well, how come he didn't play basketball? He said, probably wouldn't have him on the floor too long because
he wouldn't make it very
long. He's more
long.
of a baseball player, right?
Yes, sir, for sure.
Had him out there at third base, and that's usually the hot corners. That usually where you keep him over there.
He either plays catcher or third base, and with basketball just getting out, we're kind of moving people around, trying to figure out who can play where when certain people are pitching, and And, we're doing a pretty good job as a team of understanding what's going on. And, some people think that they have their spots, and we don't have that going on right now. So we've kind of got that ironed out. But, yeah, Wyatt, he's a great option at third because he moves really well and got a really good arm, which is also why he's a good catcher.
Right.
So it's just going to be a best fit type of situation. It may change in the middle of the game if he's catching or playing third. So.
Right. There you go. Well, and I guess that also depends on who you want back there behind the dish too, because like we were talking with Coach Mason, catcher is so important there. He's your field general out there, So maybe who you have on the hill is depending on who you have behind the dish, who works better with him that way.
Right, and so like tomorrow Dylan's going to be pitching, so I got to have somebody play short. So it'll probably be Wyatt moving into that position and let somebody else play third, and I'll have Cam Mason behind the plate. And there's not much drop off. I don't lose much behind the plate with either one of those two guys that I have back there. They're pretty similar. Both got good arms and move well, and it's just going to depend on how I feel at the time, I guess. How I feel is going to give us the best situation.
Yeah, that's true too. Because now you got the spray charts and everything. You can really work on those teams and everything too.
Right.
So in some of the games that you guys have played here, you had the game against Athens on the weekend. That was a game you wanted to pick up there, I guess. But Athens is a good little 4A team, and y'all were able to get a good win over there too.
They were. It was a good win for us. We didn't pitch very well at all. Guy had a pretty tight zone, and we didn't adjust to it very well. So I think we had 9 walks, and we hit 4 batters, and still ended up winning the game.
Wow.
So pretty good defense behind them. And, when they did hit the ball, we got outs and tried to limit the runs that they had. We went into the bottom of the 7th, down 1, got a runner on by error. He ends up on second, bunt him over, and then Dylan hits a triple to score him to tie it up, and then he steals home on a pass ball or I guess advances home on a pass ball, and we take the lead, and then he goes out and I brought him in to close, and he 3 up, 3 down after we brought him in, and he just shut him down. It's a pretty good overall team win.
Yeah, that's good because especially that long bus ride home from Athens.
That wouldn't have been no fun on a loss.
Lose it there. That's not a long ride at all. That's for sure. But and also you got so many guys out there. You also have some good guys on the bench. I see you got the Scarborough guys, Tucker Harbison. Those are guys that you can bring into different situations too, pinch running, pitch hitting, and things like that as well. So you have a good little bench out there too that you can
absolutely.
Really add in there.
And I let those guys, a lot of those guys, play in both games if we have a JV game. That way they can get their true playing time, but they know they have a role to play on varsity, and I talked to them about it beforehand, and they'll get in at bat or go out there and get a pinch run or just whatever the situation calls for, and they're also great teammates in the dugout. I think that having a good dugout is very, very helpful for the people on the field that are playing. It just awareness and good team camaraderie, and so those guys are doing a great job being teammates all the way around.
Yeah, because I think it was Gino Ariana, am I saying that right, Connecticut coach, who said, if you're not a good, solid bench player, then you're probably not going to be a part of the team very long.
Exactly.
And I believe that, too, and even though you're not getting in a whole lot of time, you still have to be very upbeat, and do your thing and get in there, and it's going to help out your team.
Exactly. Stay in the game, learn from the situations that happen out there, so when you get your chance, you know what's going on.
Right, because you never know. It could happen just like that.
You're one pitch away. You never know.
Is it. And so let's talk a little bit about your JV guys, too, Coach. You get some good JV games in there quite a bit too. Those guys are.
We've played one JV game so far. We picked up because Joaquin lost their JV, so Garrison's going to come over and play tomorrow before we play Joaquin. But yeah, we got a good. I think we have 24 kids total in the program right now, and that's the most we've had since my first year here. But it's good to have that many numbers, and it helps. We can split up practice and let them get their practice time and get some varsity practice time in. And I've said the last 2 years we hadn't really had a JV, and that hurts those younger kids because they're not getting to play.
Right.
And I preach all the time it don't matter if you're playing varsity or JV, as long as you're in a lineup somewhere, you're playing baseball.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter the level because you're getting at bats, you're getting live pitching, and all those kinds of things just help, and that'll make the whole program better in the long run because they'll have the experience of play instead of sitting on the bench and
just kind of watching.
And watching.
Right, exactly. Well, I tell you what, that's good to have out there, especially those guys too. Because those guys are watching and they know that they're going to have their opportunity and they'll get that opportunity there too.
Right.
And I'm taking it too because a lot of towns around here, they're homegrown built like Coach talking about, a lot of teams are close to the others, but you got a very good Shelbyville youth athletic program too that can go for the girls and the guys too. They bring the kids up and kind of go through the program.
Absolutely. We're up on top of that hill. We can see all the Little League fields down there.
Right.
When I was leaving practice today, they were already loading up to start games. So it's great to have a big program like that down there and get the fundamentals. I think they're doing a pretty good job of it because most of them that I get – I've been here 6 years, and most of them that have come through have been fundamentally sound. And, they're still got to learn. There's a difference between Little League and varsity, but they're fundamentally sound or have been in the last several years. So.
Right, yeah, and that's what it is too. Most of it just fundamentals. Get the fundamentals right. You do the fundamentals and take care of it along the way. No matter what sport you're at there, that's in there too. Well, Coach, you got some great teams in this district here. It's going to be a fight. I know we talked a little bit, touched on that there too, because it could be Joaquin, it could be Gary. But Garrison seems to be the top one going on here the last couple of years. Here, they're a tough squad, aren't they?
They are. They've been the top dog the last, I guess, that 4 years. My first year here, we beat them, and then after that, they've kind of ran the table on us, and. We try not to look ahead, but that's one we definitely have marked on the calendar that we want to get back at.
Right, and definitely got to get that one. And then too, Coach Tondro and the Timpson Bears, they seem to be doing really well too. They took a 1-1 with them. I went and covered that game there in Joaquin, and then Timpson was able to get them there at the end of the 7th. And then we went back over there, and then Joaquin was able to get them there in Timpson.
Right.
So, they were going back for fighting there. That's just how tough this district is.
Right. This district, me and Coach Compton were talking at the beginning of the year, everybody in this district has gotten better this year. Mm-hmm. And there is no games where it's like, we're going to play our bench against this team or something like that. You can't do that this year. Mm-hmm. Everybody's gotten better. Everybody makes the fundamental plays, makes the easy outs, and that makes it tough if you're not on your game.
Yeah, and a lot of these teams seem to have some really good pitching, more than just one or two young men out there, too, like what you guys do. So that's good there, too, as well. I tell you, it's going to be a good year out there, too. But talk about, your assistant coaches there, too, Coach. You got some good Coach Williams, I believe.
Coach Williams.
And he's talked to him just a little bit out there. He seems to be a good spirit, to be one of those guys you like to have out there on the field.
Absolutely. He'll do anything I ask him to do, and he does a good job of coming behind when I've ripped some tail, and he'll pat him on the butt, tell him good job, and to pick it up. But if you watch him, you don't think he's saying a whole lot, but he's charting what's going on, and when I ask a question, he's always got the answer for me.
Now, that's good to have out there, too. And also a beautiful facility there for the Shelbyville Dragons to play on, too, just like the gals, they got the AstroTurf going on there. But, that is a beautiful field, and it gives you an opportunity, too, even though it was rainy or whatever, the field drains real quick. So if you need to move one or change it back forth, you get the chance to come play that game after all.
Exactly. And that is a big help. I remember the first practice we had with the turf. It was raining that day, and all the kids are used to texting, "Are we having practice?" There ain't no "Are we having practice" anymore.
We're practicing now.
We're practicing some way, somehow, unless it's lightning. So, that's a great thing. You don't miss a day of practice unless, like I said, unless it's storming really bad, and game wise, unless it's lightning or thunder, and we're going to play.
Awesome. Yeah, I tell you what, we had a good time out there. I know we had a little bit in out with some internet, but I think it's due to the weather or whatever. But we're going to make sure we get over there and cover you guys a little bit more as we go through the season. But I tell you what, Coach, you guys are doing a great job, and I appreciate you being here. And good luck to the Dragons, and just keep it up. And hope to have you back here and talk a little bit more about some baseball as we go through the season.
Awesome, we appreciate it. Thanks for all the coverage.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back here and wrap up the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show here at the Pizzeria on NetSN. Sparky D's Bargain Store. Who are we? We're an online auction store. You'll find us on Facebook only. We're located in Center, Texas. Check us out as we have auctions going on right now. It's Sparky D's Bargain Store, an online auction store that can save you lots of money. Go check out our page, bid on items you like, and save yourself a lot of money. It's Sparky D's Bargain Store, Facebook only, located in Center. At Sparky D's Bargain Store, we'll save you more.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to see why Blake Furniture is the top furniture company in East Texas. Get the lowest prices and discover our easy in-store financing and low payment plans. Plus, get the fastest delivery in East Texas. Get your credit pre-approved online at blakefurniture.com today.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back here to the Pizzeria Piney Woods Area Coaches Show. Getting ready to wrap up here today. I want to say a big thank you to the pizzeria as you see these awesome pizzas out here. If you don't know about the salad, you better ask somebody, okay? Because believe me, I have a salad almost every time I come down here on Monday. One of my favorite things for the pizzeria now is the salad and the 8 buffalo wings. Perfect meal together. Yeah, get you a soda, some tea, whatever you need. All right, so anyway, we're getting ready to roll here as we got the Rick Meeks Coaches Show coming up, so we're going to get off of this stream and you go to that one coming up. But we're going to be back with the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show hopefully next Monday. We'll have some more for you here, and we'll have some other great coaches to be a part of the show. And join us tomorrow as we'll be on the NFHS Network for Center Soccer and also Jacksonville Soccer. And then we'll be coming to you on Thursday. My plan is to be in West Sabine for Coleman Hill West Sabine baseball, and then we'll see where we go after that. But that's the schedule that is coming up. Big thank you to Shires back there behind the camera, take care of all the business for us. We're going to shut down this show here, and I appreciate the coach Mason and Coach Hubbard for being here today from Shelbyville, and we'll be back for more of the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show coming up next week. Thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. We're out here, folks. Bye.
Evans' three-point shot.
It's a powering shot, baby.
Red Horse takes it to the house. This has been a presentation of the Rough Rider broadcast team, brought to you by Watlington and Shires Productions.